Epiphany, read for us question 9.
Letters of the word Casablanca are written on identical cards and shuffled. 4 cards are then picked one after the other without replacements. Determine the probability that the 4 letters can be picked are C, A, N, A in that order.
In that order. In that order, it is a very significant statement. So we should pick C, followed by A, N, and A. Without replacement is another significant statement in probability. So how many letters are here? They are 10 in number. We have 10 letters. The probability of picking letter C. How many letter C's are there? The question, the possible outcome. For us, we only have 2 letter C's. So probability will be 2, the event favoring the outcome of picking a C over 10 times probability of picking an A. How many A's are there in the word? 1, 2, 3, 4. So 4. Over the number of letters remaining, number of cards remaining, 9. Because already we have taken 1 card for C. Then picking an N. How many N's are there? We only have 1 N. Over the number of cards remaining, 8. Because we have taken 2 cards so far. A. How many A's are there? 4. We have taken 1 A. So the number of A's remaining, there are 3. Because they were 4, we have taken 1 A. So A's remaining, cards remaining bearing A are 3. So 3 over 7, because we have taken 3 cards. And now, in that order, you multiply, you get 1 over 210. Are we in agreement? Yes. Next question. The next question, Abuya, read for us.
That is the subset of the formula in the most simplified form. A is equals to R power 3 over 100.
Good. When every time we are making a power, the subject, that is that power, the subject, we must introduce logarithms. There's no another way. So we introduce logarithms anytime we are making the letter the subject, and that letter is the power. So we make sure that we introduce logarithms. And before you introduce logarithms, both sides must be of single term. Or a single term can be taken as a bracket. So we must have single term. So introduce log both sides. Log A is equals to the logarithm of R power T over 100. If we introduce these brackets and open brackets, we want to use the second law of logarithm, which will give us log T power T This one is not there first. Log t, log r power t minus log of 100, because we are dividing the two values. Then this t can come to this side. So now it becomes t log r. T log r. So this one is not there. T log r is equals to log 200. We take 100 to this side, log 200 to the other side, so we remain with t log r is equals to log a plus 2, where the logarithm of 100 to the base of 10, it is always 2. We have taken to the t side, it has become a positive. So we have t log r is equals to log a plus 2. To get t, we divide by log r both sides, and then we have made t the subject. So take note that when we are given this statement of this kind, and we are making the letter, we make the subject is the power, we must introduce logarithm both sides. Sawa sawa? Question 11. Question 11. Let me check who we have. Christine, read for us question 11.
Hamisi invested 5,000 shillings in a bank that offered simple interest at 5.5% for every 6 months. Calculate the accumulated amount in his account after 2 full years.
This is a question on commercial arithmetic 2. On simple interest and compound interest, but in this case it is simple interest. In the simple interest, interest is equals to principal times rate times time. That is interest, but the rate is divided by 100. So our principal is 5,000. Our rate of interest is 5.5 over 100, and the interest is paid for every 6 months. So for 2 full years, in 1 year, we are going to have 2 interest periods, because it will be 12 divided by 6, where 6 is after every 6 months, interest is paid, or 5% of the principal. So to find the number of interest periods, which would be our t, we must convert the 1 year that will be having 2 interest periods. So then times the 2 years. So we have 4 interest periods. We have a duration of t, which is 4 interest periods. And this one gives us the interest of 1,100. So amount accumulated in the 2 years will be 5,000, which is the principal, what was invested, plus the interest for the 2 years, which gives us 6,100 shillings. Are we in agreement? Maximilian, are we in agreement?
Yes.
Question 12, Maximilian. Read.
of fruit juice Dilac mixed juice X with a concentration of 60% with juice Y of concentration 80% to produce a blend of concentration 72%. Determine the ratio X is to Y in which he mixed them.
Right, the ratio X is to Y, and is mixing the two fruits, the two juice. X has a concentration of 60%, with juice Y having a concentration of 80, and to produce a blend of 72% concentration. So the ratio, normally this is a question on mixture. So when we are mixing, we come in with the proportions. So what is the total percentage? So the total, it will be 60 times the ratio X times X proportions, 80 times the Y proportions, then divided by the total number of proportions, X plus Y, this equals to 72. We cross multiply, we get 60x plus 80y, it is equals to 72x plus 72y. Like times together, we take x to this side. Let's take x to this side. 72 minus 60, 12x. We take y to this side. 80 minus 72, we get 8y. Then now we are supposed to find a way that will enable us to have the numbers one side and the unknowns on the other side. So in this case, I want to remain with the x on this side. I will divide by 12. Divide by 12 both sides. I want to remain with 8 on this side. I will divide by y and divide by y. So 12 and 12 will cancel. Y and y will cancel. So what I remain with is x over y. It is equals to 8 over 12. Simplify 8 over 12, we get 4 over, or by 4 by 4, we get 2 over 3 by 4 by 4. So the ratio will be x is to y is equals to 8 is to 12, it's equals to 2 is to 3. There is an alternative way, which is which we call the Pearson square method. In the Pearson square method, we want to see the juice X, which has a concentration of 60, and the juice Y that has a concentration of 80. And we want to make a juice which has a concentration of 72. If we subtract it diagonally, 80 minus 12, we get 8. Subtract it diagonally, 72 minus 60 is 12. And this is the ratio. X is to Y. So 2 is to 3. This one is Pearson square method. It's not much mathematical. It is in agriculture where we are finding the mixing of fertilizer and other things, but it can still work and still you get the correct answers. So we can still work with this one and you get all the 3 marks. But most equation, appropriate question is appropriate method is here. Good. That's what we have. It's not. It's a very common question, so we may not discuss so much. Question 13. The figure below, ABC is a straight line. DC is a tangent to the circle at O. BC is equals to 4.5 and this is equals to 6. So calculate the length of chord AB. So chord AB, let's call it X centimeters. There is a relationship that we know when we are using the tangent, intersection of a tangent and the extension of a chord. The chord AB produced, it means the tangent at C. So we normally take DC squared this equals to A to this point of intersection, it is X plus 4.5, and times B to the point of intersection 4.5. So this statement is coming from there. DC squared 6 squared, it is equals to 4.5, which is BC, times X plus 4.5 times AC times BC, where AC is X plus 4.5, and then you work out, you get 3.5. Using your calculator, 4.5 X plus 4.5 times 4.5 to the other side. We subtract that 6 minus 4.5 times 4.5. It gives us 3.5. 4.5. Then we divide by 4.5. That's what we do. So remember the relationship that would exist when we have internal intersection of chords. And remember the relationship that exists when we have external intersection of two chords. So as you are revising, get along to know the relationship we have among the lengths when we have internal intersection, external intersection of chords, and the intersection of a chord produced and the tangent. So the three scenarios. Alright, we can go to question part B. Part B says the radius of the circle, given that angle AOB is 30. We add AOB somewhere, is 30 degrees. And then we are supposed to find the length, the radius R. So to find the radius R, we need to know that if this is radius and this radius, it gives us an isosceles triangle. With an isosceles triangle, if we drop a perpendicular from the vertex to the base of an isosceles triangle, it partitions, it bisects the chord. So this one becomes 1.75 and 1.75. Then using this angle here, and then we have radius, comparing radius, which is hypotenuse, and 1.75 is adjacent. So you can say the cosine of 30 is equals to adjacent over hypotenuse. Adjacent is 1.75 and hypotenuse is the radius. So evaluating this one with a calculator, we get radius, it is equals to 1.75 divided by the cosine of 30. And the cosine of 30, it gives us 2.021. Are we in agreement? Any question? Somebody to
No.
say yes or no. Understood?
Yes.
Yes. Let's move to the next question. Question 14. Question 14 is like what we worked out somewhere. So for x, we must remember the laws of logarithms. We want to solve for x. The laws of logarithms. Let's introduce, when we have 1, we can introduce a log there. 1 is the same as log 10 to the base of 10. And when the base is not indicated, we always know that it is the base is 10. So where there is 1, we replace with the log 10. So we have 2 log x minus log 10. This equals to log 2 plus log x. This one is just a single term. So when we are using the first law of logarithm, the logarithm of xy, we always say it is the logarithm of x plus the logarithm of y. So we have 2x. So it is the logarithm of 2 plus the logarithm of x. This is what we have here. Then we factor out logarithm. We take log 10. This one is log 2. We take the like terms together. We take log x to this side, and we take log 10 to the other side. So 2 log x minus log x, this equals to log 2 plus log 10. So log 2 plus log 10, we subtract log x minus log x. 2, it gives us log x, because it is like 2 log x. This is treated as algebra. Like terms. Log x, but now here there are 2 log x. So 2 log x minus log x, it is log x. It's like 2a minus a. It's 1a. So it is equals to log 2 and log this one. Factor out log. If you take out logarithm, it will be 2 times 10. So log 20. With log 20, but what we need is x. X is equals to log 20. We can. What we need is not log x. We need x. So we can find the ant log both sides. So x will be equals to the ant log. We find the. We can say drop logarithms both sides. All. This is the logarithm. So we drop logarithms both sides. So we get x is equals to 20. We don't cancel logarithms. We cannot come and say this one and this one goes. This is not mathematically okay. But we drop logarithms, and then we say x is equals to 20. Because it's only the same numbers that can have the same logarithms. Because log x is equals to log 20. Same numbers are the only one that can have same logarithms. So it means x it is equals to 20. That's our question. Question 14. Question 15. Second last question. for this one. Okay. Expand and simplify in descending order, descending powers of x up to the fourth term. We want to expand. When we do expansion without coefficients, the coefficients of power 5. Coefficients of power 5, we can get them from the mathematical table, are 1, 5, 10, 10. Because we are told up to the fourth term, we stop there. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then we start with the first term. The first term will start with the maximum power, the power of 5. Then it will decrease up to the fourth term. So we have 2 to power 5, 2 to power 3, 4, 2 to power 3, 2 to power 2. The second term, the powers will increase. So we start with the power of 0, 1 over x to power 0, 1 over x to power 1, 1 over x power 2, 1 over x power 3. Now we combine 2 to power 5 is 32, then 1 over 1 is 1. 2 to power 4 is 8. 8 times, it's like we multiply this column. 5 times 16, 80. 80 times 1, we have 80. Then over x squared, over x to power 1. Multiply this column. 10 times 3 to power 3 cubed is 2 cubed is 8. It gives us times 1, 8, divided by x squared. Multiply this column. 10 times 4, 40, times 1, 40, over x squared, x cubed. We have answered part A, where we are expanding without coefficients. We are expanding and introducing the coefficients. Now part B of the question. Use your expansion to evaluate 1.99 to the power of 5. So we equate 1.9. What can we do to make this 1.9? So we are supposed to have 2 plus 1 over x raised to 5. Let us make 1.99 to start with the 2. What can you do with these 2 so that you make it 1.999? We subtract 0.01, then raised to power 5. 5 and 5 will cancel. We find the fifth root both sides. Multiply here by 1 over 5 and multiply here by 1 over 5. So the powers will cancel. 2 and 2 will cancel because 2 we subtract 2 both sides. Now 1 over x, it is equals to negative 0.01. Cross multiply, we reciprocate both sides. So x is equals to negative 100. X is equals to negative 100. So this 100 we have here, it is coming from this treatment when we want to find the value of x. So on substituting 32 over 80 over negative 100 plus 80 over negative 100 squared plus 40 over negative 100 cubed. We evaluate using a calculator and our answer will be at this level. Sometimes you'd be instructed to which level you should give your answer to. So the level at which you give your answer, you must calculate to that level of accuracy. Right, that's question 15. Somebody to read for last question, question 16. Abuya.
An angle of 1.8 radians at the center of the circle subtends an arc of length 23.4 centimeters. Find the radius of the circle and the area of the sector enclosed by the arc and the radii.
Great. This is the angle in radians that we did in Form 3. If this is the center, this is radius. Somebody is coming in. If this is the center, radius and radius, there is an angle here. This angle, if it is in radians, it is the angle that is subtended by the arc length, and this arc length now it is 23.4. So angle in radians, it is equals to, this equals to arc length over radius, where we defined an angle as 1 radian as the angle subtended by an arc length of equal length with the radius. So arc length over radius, it is angle in radians. Now we have angle in radians which is 1.8. So we'll say 1.8 is equals to arc length of 23.4 over radius. So we cross multiply, we are here. So if you cross multiply, radius would be equals to 23.4 over 1.8, which is equals to 13. So the radius is 13 centimeters. Find the radius of the circle and the area of the sector. So radius of the circle 13 centimeters. So you must remember that angle in radians is equals to arc length over radius. That one will help you get the radius. After this one, area is equals to area of a sector. It is equals to theta over 360 pi r squared. So theta over 360, our angle is now in radians, and the complete 360, it is the same as 2 pi radians. So we substitute angle in radians over 2 pi radians times pi times radius squared. So 1.8 over 2 pi radian times pi. So pi and pi will cancel, and then we work out, you get 152.1 square centimeters. Are we in agreement? And that one marks the end of section 1 of this paper.